So what we're going to look at today is subtracting integers. First thing we're going to look at is what happens if we have two positive integers. So I have a positive 8 and a positive 3. I'm going to subtract them. So now I have 8 positives. So I'm just going to subtract or take away 3 positives. I now happen to have 5 positives. So subtracting positive integers, not too difficult. But what if I want to subtract two negative integers? Now if you notice here, I do have a negative, but to separate the negative from the minus sign, I put parentheses around it. But I have to start off with 9 negative numbers. So if I flip these over and I end up with 9 negative numbers, and now I want to subtract 2 from them, I end up with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So this is a negative 9 minus a negative 2, so I end up with a negative 7. But what if I don't have 2 positives or 2 negatives? What if I have a positive minus a negative number? So here I'm going to have 6 positives, and now I want to subtract 2 negatives. The problem is I don't have 2 negatives, so I can't take them away. So if I actually want to put 2 negatives in here, that doesn't really make a lot of sense, because you would think these two here would cancel each other out. But that's not what we're doing. We're not adding 2 negatives. We want to take these 2 away. So in order to take these 2 away, I have to add an additional 2 positive integers. Because see, if we just looked at these guys here, that would actually equal 0. So actually when I add those on there, it's like adding 0. But now, since I have 6, kind of this plus 0 over here, but it makes up these 2 negative discs here, so I can take these 2 negative discs away, and I end up with 8. And that's why a lot of times when we say minus a negative number, we think of it as addition. But what if we were to switch these two around and happen to have a negative in the front and a positive in the back? So now I have a negative 4, but I want to subtract 5. Again, I do not have 5 positive discs. So if I want to add my 5 positive discs, but I don't want to add them, so I do what I had done prior, and I also include negative discs. That way, again, this is 0 because I've got 5 positive, 5 negative, so 0. So it's kind of like I'm adding 0, and so it's not going to change. So what I want to do, what this allows me to do, is now I can subtract these 5 positive discs, and so now I end up with negative 4 minus a positive 5, and I end up with a negative 9.